up the guitar, I guess. Good morning, Kevin. Great to hear from you. Great to hear from you. I hope you had a good weekend. We celebrated some birthdays this weekend, so we were indisposed and really enjoyed some family time this weekend. I'll tell you what, we completely unplugged from the guitar world. And well, I mean, in so much as we didn't do any production, but we have, our family likes to come and visit the studio, and the kids and grandkids love to come and, see things and then ask, can I take this home with me? So we had a little bit of that this morning. Hey, Rewaz is back. Good morning, Kevin. So Kevin's the channel moderator, as you know, keeping us all fresh and light and lively. And Lex is here this morning. Good morning, Mr. G. Good morning, rock and roll forever. Happy birthdays, very cool. It was great weekend and super times. Morning, M. Fish. Morning, Lex. Morning, Rewaz. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get us started so we have a good, positive week ahead of us. And what we're doing is we're going to continue practicing our humanity. So I have a few, I don't know if you guys probably all have these kicking around somewhere. I know they're easy, they can be difficult systems to find, but I wondered how many of you actually have a hi-fi system, like an honest to goodness like record player. And hey, Jill's on board. Good morning. Just pop in and say hi. Traveling today, so back to ritual tomorrow. You travel well. Travel well, Jill. Thanks for popping in. Mr. Smith is in the house. So I went ahead and I got one of our old Bose. It's the cinema, the home theater cinema things where you've got the head on it. It's like the AV something or other, and it's got the DVD player in it. It's got the CD DVD player in it. A bunch of connectivity on the back. It had two, RCA inputs for an auxiliary input. So I set it up in the parlor this weekend, previous to everybody coming over to visit. Set up an old turntable, plugged the RCAs into the Bose system, and set the two satellite speakers full width in the room, and the subwoofer sort of in the corner where it's supposed to be. And I'll tell you what a great listening experience. Really listening to vinyl. It is a disruptive technology in the way that you can't just say, hey internet, play me a playlist of my favorite music, and it'll run on repeat all day. So once you get through the 15 or 16 or 17 minutes of side A, the music stops and you have to get up and go flip it, So the grandkids had their first experience with, we walked in the room and said, wow, I've never seen one of those before. Listen to Zappa through them. Yeah, right on. Oh yeah, Bose, the bookshelves are like the 301s. I'll tell you what, those 301s are great. The 501s, I love the bookshelves. I love the Bose stuff. It's just so well balanced. And you know what I've found is, while the music is playing at a good level, a good sound pressure level, you can still, the music is all intelligible. All pieces and components of the music that are being played back, they're intelligible, but they don't get in the way of the conversation. So you can listen deeply, and you can also communicate about the recording. So we wondered about cover art, because you don't have the video telling you what to think whilst listening. You have the cover art and we were looking at the cover art of one of my all-time favorite albums from our friend from the north, Mr. Bruce Coburn's Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws. Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws. What a beautiful record. And so that abstraction on the cover art really opened us up to a little bit of discussion. I was sitting on the couch, you know, little leather sofa, you know, club chairs or whatever. But I'll tell you what, it was worth taking the time to set up, find all the components, go digging around for all the old stuff. We do have a hi-fi system. Jill, that's great. My college student and his buddies are super into vinyl now. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, this triggered some like conversations. I have friends in Michigan at the moment, just kind of looking around for the same, to repeat the system that I shared with them and built over the weekend. They're looking to repeat this like halfway across the country. Like, vinyl is on fire. It is back, baby. It is back, and it is like, it just is a special situation, you know. Love the storyline behind it, you know. All right, so Unforeseen, Savage Angel. Can you plug Walk? This how have to plug talk. Let's see. Are you like Pantera's Walk? Is that where you're thinking? Something. Is that the walk you're talking about? Hey, Unforeseen. Did I miss something? Vinyl is for people addicted to nostalgia. Very irrational people. Amen, brother. I think it's a worthy discussion, you know. I didn't appreciate it until I thought, you know, music does change. It does change hands. It changes medium over, you know, it changes distribution. The way that we disseminate music and preserve music, it's moved through several medium over the period of decades, and it's all, if you're into it. This is not it's not a Canon lens, the 2470, no, 24105. It's actually a drink cup. pretty funny stuff. Truth be told, surprise. I am a shutterbug. I've been known to shoot, you know, $20 million real estate, you know, pieces of real estate on a few occasions, but I don't make it a practice to do that much anymore. I'm pretty much, as you see, I'm just sitting around playing guitar. So welcome. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes you do have to just kind of get at the, you know, in order to discuss both sides of the coin, you know, there is that, you know, there is that unforeseen, there is that in Miles Davis, that he would never look back, you know. It was, he would lay it down and he would be ready to move on to the next project, and he didn't even want to listen back to the takes that he took, you know what I mean? So there is a little bit of that in me, you know. Let's ditch, like, you know, I'm currently thinking about, you know, ditching Adobe because they keep going up in price and it's just kind of ridiculous. And it kind of hold you hostage a little bit, and with a subscription. But, you know, once you ditch it, don't look back, you know what I mean? Once you make the recording or whatever, don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep moving forward. And then if you have to circle back around and pick it up again, then do that. But that's all part of forward momentum. And the revisiting whether it's for nostalgic purposes or, Leftover Salmon sings about it. So I think Sam Bush is singing the track. He's like, I don't want no digital, basically give me that analog, don't want no digital. Something about, basically digital being evil or something, the conversion of the analog continuous wave into breaking it apart into samples situations. He's like, I don't want to be dismantled and reproduced. You know what I mean? He's basically talking about teleportation, I think, of audio, and he's really he's a very thoughtful, sort of wild kind of person to listen to. So, he's definitely going back to the analog situation, singing about I want to be an analog musician while recording in a digital studio and delivering digitally, on a CD or an MP3 or whatever, AAF, wave. Now there are arguments about, hey, is digital too clean? Do we need to we need to add a little noise? So Bob Clearmountain and a company, his wife runs this really beautiful company called Apogee Digital, and they were one of the first ones to figure out they have super high value analog to digital conversions and digital to analog conversion. And they were one of the first ones to realize to make real the addition of noise in there with their dithering patterns in the UVH22 or whatever dithering patterns. So they're one of the first ones in the business to recognize that digital might sound too pristine, too clean for the human ear, because we prefer whole number ratios and all of the science between JNDs and just noticeable differences. And there are people who think about this stuff at a very like a lawyer, like an attorney might ponder over every word in a sentence or whatever. Every word matters when it's in black and white, right? So too does audio and recording and preserving and redistribution of audio. So yeah, I mean, it could be a nostalgic sort of it could be for nostalgia, the first time you introduce a younger generation to how when you push start on a record player, the arm of the record player lifts up on its own and it moves over to its place in the universe and then it drops the needle. The needle drops, and when she saw that happen, everything was quiet. And she heard the scraping of the stylus, the needle on the album, the record. And she heard the sound in the room, and you should have seen her face, just to see that there's a real thing happening was a remarkable thing. And then we sat down and looked at the cover art, which we're supposed to let the imagination run. And we had a story come out of the cover art of Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws, that Bruce Cockburn record. You can't help but let a story, a narrative sort of extrapolate into we went all over the place in about 15 minutes. And probably more, we probably used our imaginations more in 15 minutes than we used in the last 3 years. Arguably so. It might be an exaggeration, but certainly worth checking out. Hey, Can Leo, good morning. God bless you. God bless you too. So we've got a paint here. Ibis paint. I changed to piano. Oh, like you're playing softer or the literal instrument piano? Captain Caveman. Keep your fingers lower when running down the neck. Will make it easier. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. It's cool that you're here sharing the wisdom, it's very cool. So fingers 1 and 4 on 7 and 12. And we're just working through the 2-finger permutations. Yeah, we're just working through the morning ritual for guitar growth. So happy to have you here taking a moment, taking a chance to communicate with us here in the live chat. I don't know English. You know, I barely know English. I feel like I've been in an English-speaking country for most of my life, you know, and several English-speaking countries, and each one uses English in a different way. And being American, we use English in really wild ways. And it's very, you know, it's like any other form of language, like music especially, right? So music is that sort of like, it's one of those universal languages which communicates several disciplines all at one moment. So let's go ahead and use fingers 2 and 3 and 4, shall we? So fingers 2 and 3 and 4, 10, 11, and 12. I kind of think it would be kind of cool if we had a poll going. So Captain Caveman, what a cool handle. What a great handle to see on the guitar, you know, on YouTube. I remember watching Mr. Caveman on the like Saturday morning cartoons or whatever it was. So I am dating myself a little bit, but that's okay. Because it's all in fun. It's all in fun. So what I'm doing is, if you're just tuning in, I wanted to welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason, and you can just grab your guitar. I'll be here for the whole hour. I'm here until 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and right now it's 7:48 Eastern time, so that means we have another 40 minutes of practice time, or warm-up time. Now, I don't know what it is you're up to, but if you're a guitar practitioner looking to be a better person, you have a better, you know, translation through your guitar, have a better, you know, just improve ourselves holistically, you know, not being hokey, but through the guitar, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically, musically, absurdity, you know, it's just, it's all here. So we're just working through the 2-finger groups, 3-finger groups, 4-finger groupings, and those permutations thereof, and then some diagonal patterns, you know, and just kind of waking up with the guitar every day. So I invite you to join me here for the remainder of 2025, Robbie, and you know, it's great to have you here. Great to be playing guitar together, alone together. Yeah. All right, frying up some bacon and listening to some minor scale. Oh, the bacon and the minor. You know what? Bacon goes with everything. You know, it goes with minor scales, inverted diminished scales. Bacon goes with major, bacon goes with minor, melodic minor, harmonic minor, mode 5 of harmonic minor, melodic minor. The Locrian, what is it, Lydian dominant scale. Man, it goes with all of it. The minor pentatonics, the major pentatonics, the altered pentatonics. I'll tell you what, you mentioned bacon, I can hear the sizzling going. I moved from putting it in this cast iron skillet into baking it in the oven. I'll tell you what, I really love baking the bacon. Now I'm hungry. 1, 2, and 4 on 9, 10, and 12. So breaking the fast is one of my favorite things, one of my favorite ceremonial parts of the day. Just breaking the fast with nice eggs Benny, or you know, bacon Benny, Canadian bacon Benny. No, it's great. I'm glad to have you here, Jim. We're all glad to have you here. Half bacon strips on the side, half sliced up into bits from my arm. Oh! Let's try this. Let's go ahead and add a Q&A. Any artist, living or dead, you want to see perform live? Let's go ahead and start the Q&A, my friends. Let's go ahead and park this over here so it's not, obstructing. I don't want to obfuscate my beautiful mug. So here we go. We're back down here, fingers 1 and 2. I think are we at 1 and 2 and 4? Right there we go. Back on track. I just don't want to miss those little moments, like talking about the artists. One of those things that we listened to this morning, all right, let me just pause for a minute. Let me calm it down and dial it back in, because I want to focus on breath for a second. I want to focus on breath and posture, both of which have been suffering lack of attention, suffering a high amount of neglect for this morning. I want to focus on breath and get back in touch with the metronome, and you'll see why. Because as we proceed through the year 2025 together, whether we're playing guitar together here, warming up together, or listening as a podcast, just to get the brain going nice and slow, nice and easy, kind of like the way you're cooking your bacon. You're not really cooking at high heat. If you want to do it and do it right, I've heard that you don't want to hurt the pig. You want to just kind of bring it up to crisp, and I think we all can appreciate just the slow roll into it. But this is definitely a slow roll observation of our morning on-ramp into the world of being a guitar practitioner again. And does it take a decision every day to do this? Yes, it does. Are there other things we could do to be more productive, more profitable maybe, more financially responsible, more warm, more happy, more protected, more secure? Yeah, probably. But the question stands, like, why do we do what we do? And we do what we do large in part because we witnessed something happen in music by an artist that inspired us to continue on, or to maybe we weren't guitar players or musicians at the time, but we witnessed something, we heard something, we saw something, read something somewhere, like when Garth Brooks walked into the fanfare. You remember that story when he hit the fanfare? It's kind of turned into the Country Music Awards now, but kind of like it's still cool, but it ain't the fanfare. Fans used to descend on the fairgrounds in like Tennessee and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. And everyone, all of these fans would show up, thousands and thousands of fans, to see their favorite country artist. They would dress like Garth, they would dress like Reba, and Reba would show up and have a little pop tent and a little table and just sign autographs and really have a chance to connect with the fans, friends. And then, you would be performing all week, so you would get to see Reba on the stage, and it was a really great American experience, which was just a little moment in time. So this one year, Garth was really popping off, Mr. Brooks was really popping off, and it was like something was going on in the family, and everyone got news that he wasn't going to be there because there was some family sort of thing happening, and us being people, we being fans, we're understanding, we're human first, right? Hopefully we're human first. And so, we're forgiving, and we thought, well, we spent the ticket money, we're here anyway, we may as well fully absorb, the heat of the wide open fairgrounds, no cover in sight, we're sweltering and we're sweating, and we're all basically suffering, we're borderline dehydration. And then, in through the crowd comes this dude wearing a cowboy hat and an Oklahoma t-shirt or whatever. And we all dress up like our idols, right? And then we show up and someone recognized He's not supposed to be there, but someone recognized him as Garth Brooks, walking right through the fairgrounds, right with the fans. He wasn't supposed to be there, but he was there. And then fingers 1 and 2 and stretch 4 this time. 1 E and a 2, you know what to do. What are some of your musical influences? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. Let's keep coming to that. Let's come back to that. And great question. Vishal, good morning. Jamal, Skyrim music. Oh, good idea. We've got Ibis Pain. All right, be right back. We'll see you in a little bit. So in walks, someone says, "Hey, that's Garth Brooks," and then tens of thousands of people, just realize, as they slowly realize, there's a circle that forms around Garth Brooks, and then at any moment, the security could have said, "Hey, step away from the person," and what he did, he's just one of, we're all just part of the same family, right? And he realized that, and I thought that was so cool. So he worked his way over to like a livestock shed, and eventually kind of got there undercover a little bit, and just kind of hung out there like you're just mucking out the stall. You're just kind of standing in the stall with your friends and signing autographs and talking and catching up. And at any moment that could have gone a completely different way, but he entered the same way everyone else entered, through the crowd with the people. And I thought, what a great way to treat other people. So fingers 1 and 2, and let's 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we're doing the old kickstand. This one's for Jill, and Jill is in the live chat, and she's a guitar luthier, and she builds a beautiful guitar. So if you haven't seen her guitars yet, you could go and take a look at my right here at Jason Carey Guitar. You could go to the community tab or the posts tab on the page and kind of look through, and you'll see some pictures of a guitar being built. And that's Mrs. Bourgeois' guitar. It's a story you won't want to miss. So fingers 1 and 2. But anyway, that guitar is nicknamed Kickstand, similar to what the name of this exercise is. So Kickstand. Really great stuff going on here in the live chat and in the channel and the community here in general as we grow, because we are growing. We will grow. And 2026 is scheduled to be a pretty good year for us. And I think what we're going to focus on will be just coming back to the guitar. Coming back to the guitar and coming back to the simple things in life. The analog approach to living, with the one that, it's a refreshing, sort of slower, sort of more perfect union of thought and intellect and imagination. And we want to just be cognizant of the things that we are doing as humans with the guitars. And so that's it. It's just a really simple thing, but making it, connecting with it. Connecting and doing the thing, just doing the stuff. Just where the rubber meets the road, right? Let's say you're an F1 driver, an F1 pilot, basically, an F1 driver, and you get pretty familiar with how the car feels, and so going into a turn exactly what you need to do to, you're not braking, but you're letting up off the gas, off of the acceleration, and then coming out of the turn, you're starting to lean back into the acceleration. You know exactly what you're doing, and you're exactly in the moment. And that's what I hope for my own person and for you with the guitar as we journey together. Because I'm here every weekday morning. The good news is, for me, I'm here doing this every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. and it's really benefiting me personally. And from some feedback that we continue to get, it's also benefiting you some way, somehow. And that's appreciated. That's definitely appreciated and noted. So now's a great time to stop and take a little bit of a break and do a little bit of stretching. And I'll show you how I do this and why. And Captain Caveman, are you still here? Nice. Good music, by the way. I listened to... Oh, did you? Oh, thank you, man. Did you listen to, were you able to check out Wake the Kids or that whole Rebirth album? I'd love to get your feedback on that. And hi, Rez. Sir, can you play Army Dreamer's main theme, Guts? All right. Cool. Oh, Tim Henson. Mr. Henson is quite the guitar player. I just love playing, it's just love. I love when you start to do your own thing, your own research. There's one, this brings to mind another guitar player friend of mine who is a mentor to many, and you may or may not know him. He's relatively obscure, but he's a guitar player's guitar player. His name is Mr. Gary Whitner, and he's doing the things that, just original to him. And it's so wonderful to hear someone do their own research and their own development and find their own path, after we learn a few basic things and we start to absorb the music of others, we learn the things that we like, super important, and then we continue along and we absorb music from others, and then we start to listen to what's inside. I suspect that was the point all along as we decided to become guitar players. Tool is... Oh, cool. Sup, Tweety? What's up? Stretch and smash the like button. Mr. Smith's got the word. Mr. Smith's got the word. He knows what he's talking about. Smashing of the like button. Smash it hard. I think that's cool. That's fair enough. And it's one of those low-key ways you can sort of help us out a little bit. And maybe at the same time help yourself out. Maybe you want to learn the guitar. Maybe you, like me, want to deepen your relationship with the guitar. Like, maybe I don't want to play the C major 7 all the time. Maybe I want to play the C major 7 with a sharp 5. Maybe I want to be able to do that in multiple positions across the neck of the guitar. At a moment's notice, right? And we can do that. If you want to follow along on a really brilliant series on my channel here, and it's just it's brilliant because of the mind, the mastery behind it. There's Ted Green, and the Ted Green Chord Chemistry series is really for you. My guess is you're interested in digging a little deeper without the confusion. You're not really interested in, I don't want to get caught up in stuff that I don't need. It's not a lightweight experience, but it is a deep experience, organized in a way that's just walking through the woods together. You know what I mean? And some of us walking through the woods means a different thing. Some of us are just sort of walking with our sneakers on. Some of us are walking at elevation at 8,000 feet with our mountaineering boots on, and we're tethered to 2 other blokes in a climbing party, via rope craft. And so walking through the woods means different things to different people at different times and stages in our lives. But if I haven't seen you yet at the Ted Green Chord Chemistry series, I hope to see you there. It's a free series. We're walking through the late, great Ted Green's Chord Chemistry, world famous book, together for free right here on YouTube. On my, right here at Jason Carey Guitar. Yeah. Dylan Meritz. Oh, that's true. I think I missed something. What is the purpose for the B string being tuned like it is? Oh, Corporal Clegg, we got you back. How you doing, friend? Yeah, that's a great question. That's a wonderful question. Let's get into that. Hey, Gabe. Yeah, tap 3 dots, top right, and hit the like. Love it. I love the way you think, Gabe. So I think the way we're going to do this is just kind of work through these alternate, you know, these diagonal patterns. It's kind of interesting, like why someone would come on your channel and take the time in the live chat to say what Gabe just said. You know, I think if we were talking about, do you like purple popsicles or do you like macaroni and cheese, it would be appropriate. And you know, but why solicit the negative? You know what I mean? Why do that? It's just a good question, just food for thought. You know, just trying to wrap my head around life behind the blinders. You know what I mean? Just trying to wrap my mind around it. That's okay. You know, I think I was that person at one point too in my life. And look at me now, Mom. I'm okay. Just try to have some patience and understanding, that's all. So, speaking of understanding, so why not E, A, D, G, C, E? Well, it would be E, A, D, G, C, F, right? Because we'd have to turn and tune to fourth the whole theme, the whole sequence. You're cool, man. I subbed to you, bro. Nezura, good morning. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps. Like, I don't know, like, some of us don't count our pennies, you know, some of us don't watch the little things, but that's for us, like, that's the detail is where it counts, right? That's where everything starts to matter, is the detail. And if we practice with enough attention to detail on a regular basis, let's say every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. right here with the morning ritual for guitar growth, let's say we do that and practice with great detail and gratitude, that becomes, we amplify that to the order of magnitude, like, and that radiates out through us. We feel it. Our families feel it, our communities feel it, and then the world at large feels it. And I know that's true because I know the late, great Mr. Neil Peart. I know I've read and listened to and helped, you know, I've read those interviews, I've heard those interviews. And then there's a person behind all of those drum licks, those drum lines and written passages. And then, you know, I don't think we do it for money. I don't think we do it for that kind of thing at all. I mean, the money is great. To be able to keep the lights on would be nice, wouldn't it? And I'm going to talk to you as we proceed through 2026 together. I am going to talk to you about, because I've earned $1 million bucks on my guitar in my lifetime, and I know that it's doable. And if I can do it, I know that anyone can do it, right? I literally know because you take one look at me and you're like, you're not for real, dude. And I'm like, totally for real. But I want to start talking a little bit about how to build this out as sort of a lifestyle. And at the same time, I'm kind of being selfish because I want to start sort of, basically legitimizing to my own self, why do I continue to do this, And I'm going to come back to that tuning. Why don't we tune the B string, right? So there's an order to things. If I tune this E chord, right, to if I had the B chord, or the B string was tuned to C, the E chord would look like this, which is no problem. That would be the shape, would be the sound. But then when I start to play that as a bar chord, then it becomes sort of like, a different shape. And then the G chord becomes a different shape, because this is what it would, it would look a little bit like. We'd have to reach, it'd be a different reach. And I think, that exploration, if you actually tuned your B string to the C, and then you tuned your E string to an F, and actually followed that quartal tuning all the way up through, you spend a couple of weeks just doing that and nothing else. You're going to realize some benefits to this, right? You're going to realize there are some fingering symmetries that can't happen in standard tuning. But you're also going to realize quickly that those chord grips that you knew and loved so well, and those colorful things, they turn into quartal and quintal instead of tertiary harmonic experiences, which are sort of soft and round for the human experience. English sweetness, you could go back and look up the English sweetness. You can look at how choral, you're familiar with that choral approach, like English sweetness. And those sort of consonant things turn into like a world of neutrality, like a finely tuned Harley, right? That finely tuned bike heading down the road. And there's not, although it sounds great and it feels great to meditate on, our system of harmony basically promotes movement and not a static environment. So I think it has to do with keeping our harmonic system moving, that yin yang, that tonic and, that push and pull against home, and tonic and dominant. And that's what really makes Western harmonic music work. Now, if you look at and examine Eastern raga and Hindustan, the classical music of the East, you'll find a whole different program. And then it might make sense to tune your guitar into all fourths. Welcome, Richard. Did I miss somebody? I missed somebody. Hey, Richard Jacobs, keep up the good work. You know what? That affirmation is so important for so many of us, right? Some of us are fortunate we don't really need that, and we can just go through the day to day doing what we know is good. But some of us really need that, and really we don't hear that enough. So I really want to thank you for taking your time to share that, because I'll tell you what, I practice that in parts of my life where I compliment people on just the basic things that we all take for granted, and they look at me like, this dude's crazy. And so it's become like a foreign thing to offer like verbal support or empathetic approach to life. So I think bringing that back into style, that's such a great thing to do, and thank you so much for sharing that sentiment with all of us here, right here in the live chat. That's just wonderful. That's about as good as it gets right there. I just think it's I'm so thrilled to be a small part of helping anybody get with the guitar, come back to the guitar, and just basically fix what was stuck. What once was stuck now is going to move into directions that were unexpected. And maybe we'll end up at open mics, You know, we could end up getting an open mic together at some point. You never know. Or on a stage somewhere together. It's you never know, right? It's just such a beautiful life like that, right? Here's the chord progression I wanted to talk about. We're going to kind of go back and start over again today. We're going to start from, I'm going to terminate right now our official warm-up pattern and move on from our sort of like warm-up to a more like an active practitioner would start asking questions. What if, how, why, when? Those kinds of questions don't typically appear in my warm-ups because I want something that's static and it's solid, something that I can wake up to. If I haven't been stimulated at all in the morning, I don't want to go, what? I don't want any of that ever involved in my world of guitar practice. I want all of it to be just super clean breath, super clean posture, super clean intention. And that's really what I'm hoping to get. I heard Mr. Steve Vai talk about Alan Holdsworth, the late great Alan Holdsworth. And he said, Mr. Stevie Vai said, you know, Alan Holdsworth wasn't, you know, when he was connected to his instrument, he was connected not emotionally, because that's great to shoot for, you know, being connected to your emotions through your guitar. But he said, he goes further and he says, Alan Holdsworth, when he was connected to the root of the universe. And he's like, that is super deep. And if you were ever there watching him in that performance situation, he's like, you better effing watch out, because he was going for it. He was gone. And it was just mind-boggling, you know, when you have an on night. And so that, having an on morning ritual is what I'm hoping for, to be connected to something that is more human. Not to sound cliche, you know, bring back the 90s, you know, grungy rock stuff, but more human than human, right? You know, root ourselves in something bigger. And that's my hope for myself and my wish for you as we continue through this year and set new goals for 2026 together, right? Because we are doing this, we're doing it, and this is happening, right? Alright, so let's go ahead. This is a chord progression I taught a lot of my friends, and it's a simple one, and it's one of those things that you learn by going to bluegrass jams, you know, and you, after the performances are done, you're under the tents, and then you're playing music together with all of the fans, and then you're just there playing and just enjoying life and celebrating that, hey, we all play music together, and the fact that we were able to do that is proof that God does exist, right? And so, did you ever watch the DVD with Paul Gilbert? You bet I did. Oh yeah, I got all of that stuff from him. He's a wonderful, wonderful teacher and peer and mentor and all those things. And then all of a sudden do magic. Yeah, that's right. Just beautiful stuff. So here's the bass chord progression. And this is something that you can record yourself doing. And if you're a shredder or a guitar, you know, a metal guitar player or an electric guitar player, a Tele player, a Strat player, a Parker Fly, a late great Ken Parker Fly player, fingerstyle player, or a plectrum player, it doesn't matter. This is what we were talking about, Corporal Clegg, is our harmonic system is promotes movement and motion, right? At the same time, we start and stop, and we take breaths. We turn around and we look out over the valley from our little cliff on, you know, in Yellowstone on the Half Dome. You know what I mean? You turn around and you're like, wow, I'm in the middle of God's country, you know? And so music lives and breathes like that. And I think this is a great chord progression, whether you're a beginner, intermediate guitar player, or an advancing guitar player. It doesn't matter, you know, because it's all harmony. It's all harmony that we use. It's like the food that we eat. We start with C, and then we descend with G, B in the bass, A minor. You'll have to come back and get this, and then F, and then C with E in the bass, and then down, walks down to D, and then we walk back up. Yeah, we did. Walk back and do the same exact descend. And this is food for the listener's ear because we're doing this repetition. And then we go to the 5 chord where all of the world falls apart. Back up to D, C, or the tonic. Then we're walking down to the submedian, or the 6. Up to the subdominant. We're getting a little far away down to the supertonic, or the 2 minor. Up to the subdominant, the 1 with an E in the bass, which is softening the blow there, and then the 2 walks down to the 5, which could be altered. Just for some flavor, you know, added flavor, walking down to the 6. And then what I like to do, take an opportunity to turn this into an alternating bass run. Walking up, we got a lot of attention and attraction to the bass line in an arrangement like this. Up into a more sort of like, you know, kind of like we're in the village, you know, just kind of strumming away, supporting like Joan or Joni or Bobby or Peter. and then working on getting this to be as clean and clear sounding as possible is our job. Fingerstyle player, you might do this. You might start with something really super easy. And then grow or graduate into alternating the bass line. Kind of have fun, just kind of, you know, hoping like, let's hang on tight, let's put the helmet on and tighten down the chin strap because we're going for a ride now. And that's kind of like the beauty of a chord progression like that, is it can really bring us to new places and new heights and new awarenesses, because we have to play the changes, right? The changes. And we're going to start talking about that a little bit more this year, because life does throw us those changes. It's just kind of, if you're playing music, you're playing, that's what literally your job is, to play the changes, you know, and that's kind of Western harmony. You know, if you were playing raga, you know, the changes are different, you know, the chord changes don't really exist, or tensions and resolutions. You know, increased rhythmic frequencies elevate awareness and tension, decreased rhythmic frequency is indicative of, invites calm or repose. And so there, that system of tension and resolution and release is different from our system of tension and push and pull. So this tertiary harmony and triadic harmony is a real it's a real pig scramble for some of us, you know what I mean? But finding our way through C, G with B in the bass, walking down to A minor, and then F. You could do, I see Halo. Oh, Halo. Testing Halo. I thought you were talking about the band, the Halo game. Finally changed all my acoustic strings yesterday. You did, Mark. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? It just feels like a great thing to do. Jimmy Page when he is sober. Yeah, I love Mr. Page. You know, just love Mr. Page. His work is just so just inspiring. Richard Jacobs. Oh, my Parker Fly Deluxe is one guitar I miss selling. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I was playing when Mr. Ken Parker was. I've shared this before, but I believe you're new here, right? So. When I was at Music University, my friend Gary Whitner was actually a really great friend of Ken Parker, and so Gary plays a priceless guitar now, one of Kenny's, you know, a beautiful guitar, and I was playing the Parker Fly guitars where he was carving them out of poplar, and I was playing the prototypes at the moment, so I just really had a great experience with. I'm sorry to hear that you let one of those go. Beautiful guitars, but we all recover from those things, don't we? We do. All right, Robbie, that was a cool progression. We'll play that again later, hopefully cleaner. Thanks for your time, Monk. Got to go to work. Robbie, thanks for being here. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Kevin, for being here, and thanks for signing us off. That is the beginning of the end of the day for us, the end of the morning. Now this opens up our day to get on with practicing the guitar on our own. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Happy picking, Mark. Trying to change my strings, everything I've done. With my hands, so I'm on that guitar string. months of cooking using, yeah. I hope you have a good day, everybody. Until we meet again, I'll be here again tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And remember, daylight savings. So we'll be here 7:30. See you again. And until we meet again, happy picking. Yeah, Richard, thanks for being here, man. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Happy picking. Woo, woo.